7:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lal Malavarachi and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. The President calls on the politicians, officials and people to work together to resolve problems in the rural areas. The Kumbhakanoya irrigation project will be started, realizing the dreams of the people for 7 decades. Sri Lanka Ports Authority has been declared as an essential service. 37,825 individuals have been vaccinated in the 2 days of the COVID vaccination program. COVID-19 infections total rises to 63,293. 56,277 patients have fully recovered. A special traffic plan has been devised in view of the 73rd National Independence Day. And in news overseas, India cuts internet to hunger-striking farmers in Delhi. Those are the headlines, and now we move on to the details of the local news. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has instructed the officials to withdraw cases filed under the old circulars with the implementation of the new rules that allow farmers to continue cultivating lands traditionally used for agriculture. President Rajapaksa has instructed all departments and institutions, including wildlife, forestry, environment and land, to formulate new laws in the interest of the people, taking into account the constant requests from the public during the discussion with the village program. New laws are being drafted to address the existing issues. The decision was taken to provide relief to the affected people who have been in litigation with the government agencies for many years. President Rajapaksa said as of Friday, he has signed 17,000 deeds that have been finalized after resolving the issues. The President also instructed the officials to immediately start the Kumbhakanoya irrigation project, realizing the dreams of the people for 7 decades. A special gazette notification signed by President's Secretary P.B. Jayasundara has been issued, declaring Sri Lanka Ports Authority and all its services as essential service with immediate effect. This extraordinary gazette notification has been issued under the Essential Public Services Act No. 61 of 1979, considering that Sri Lanka's Ports Authority is essential to the life of the community and is likely to be impeded or interrupted, and hence all services, work or labour of any description necessary or required to be done or in connection with the Sri Lanka Ports Authority services have been declared as an essential public service. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And we continue with more local news. Sri Lanka has immunized over 32,000 healthcare and security personnel who are at the front line battling the pandemic. According to the chief epidemiologist, 32,539 individuals have been immunized with the Oxford AstraZeneca's Covishield vaccine manufactured by Serum Institute of India yesterday, and cumulatively 37,825 individuals have been vaccinated in the 2 days of the program, which commenced on Friday in Colombo. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Army said immunizing the army personnel serving at the front lines in the fight against the transmission of COVID-19 continues in full swing across 16 island-wide army hospitals. According to the Epidemiology Unit of the Health Ministry, 848 new COVID-19 cases were reported yesterday. Among the positive cases identified yesterday, 844 are associates of the Paliyagoda COVID-19 cluster and 4 are associates from the Prism cluster. According to the Epidemiology Unit report, a total of 63,293 COVID-19 cases have been reported and 6,703 infected patients are being treated at hospitals. Another 566 individuals are currently suspected of the infection and hospitalized. Sri Lanka reported 8 deaths yesterday, rising the total to 313, and 56,277 patients have fully recovered and been discharged from the hospitals. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. The President calls on the politicians, officials and people to work together to resolve problems in rural areas. The Kumbhakanoya irrigation project will be started, realizing the dreams of the people for 7 decades. Sri Lanka Ports Authority has been declared as an essential service. 37,825 people have been vaccinated in the 2 days of the COVID vaccination program. COVID-19 infections total rises to 63,293. 56,277 patients have fully recovered. A special traffic plan has been devised in view of the 73rd National Independence Day. And that was the local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The main news story for this morning, a special traffic plan has been devised in view of the 73rd National Independence Day celebrations on the 4th of February. Accordingly, the vehicular movement will have been restricted around the Independence Square in Colombo and nearby areas since yesterday. Rehearsals for the Independence Day are set to take place until the 3rd of February. During this period, the special traffic plan will be effective from 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Meanwhile, the vehicular movement have been limited near the Independence Square from 4 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. on the Independence Day. In the meantime, Sri Lanka Air Force has appealed to the members of the public not to operate drones or send balloons and kites into the sky in Colombo, as its rehearsals for the fly past of the Independence Day are taking place with the aircraft flying at lower heights. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Moving on to Watchlight, police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana requested the public to pay their attention to follow the health guidelines to prevent the spread of COVID-19 virus. More than 10,000 institutions have been inspected whether they implemented the health guidelines. He said cases have been filed against 1,223 heads of institutions who violated the quarantine rules. He says that 30 suspects have been arrested yesterday for not wearing the face mask and failing to keep the social distance. And that came to you in Watchlight.
World News, brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Headlines of the world news. India cuts internet to hunger-striking farmers in Delhi. UAE to offer citizenship to talented foreigners. Russian billionaire Arkady Rotenberg says Putin Palace is his. And those are the headlines. Now we move on to the details of the world news. Russia has suspended mobile internet services in the 3 areas around the capital Delhi, where farmers are staging a hunger strike in protest at the new agricultural laws. The government said the shutdown would continue until Sunday night to maintain public safety. Tens of thousands of protesting farmers have been camping out on Delhi's outskirts for more than a month. Talks between unions and the government have failed to break the deadlock. The UAE says it will grant citizenship to foreign residents for the first time, providing that they add value to the Gulf state. UAE Vice President and Dubai ruler Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum said those eligible would include investors, specialized talents, doctors, engineers and artists. They and their families would be able to hold dual nationality, he said. It is unlikely that any low-income workers would meet the strict criteria. Russian oligarch Arkady Rotenberg says that he is the owner of an opulent Black Sea mansion, not President Vladimir Putin, as the leader's critics had alleged. A video report about the vast palace by Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny went viral across Russia and has now been watched more than 100 million times. The Russian president rubbished the reports he owned the resort earlier this week. Mr. Rotenberg, a billionaire with close links to Mr. Putin, went public claiming to be the owner yesterday. And to conclude the world news, the headlines once again. India cuts internet to hunger-striking farmers in Delhi. UAE to offer citizenship to talented foreigners. Russian billionaire Arkady Rotenberg says Putin Palace is his. And that was the world news.
World News, to you by courtesy of
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In development news, Minister of Power Dallas Alahaperma stated that 1,218 solar power cells, each capable of generating over 100 kilowatts of electricity, will be provided to residents in Kurunegala soon. He was speaking at the recent Rural Economic Infrastructure Development Committee meeting held at the Kurunegala District Secretariat. He said that Kurunegala would become the main district that generates electricity through solar power. With that, we move on to sports news. An enhanced base financial incentive scheme will be introduced by Minister of Sports Namal Rajapaksa to athletes who excel in international events in the future. With the introduction of this scheme, an Olympic gold medalist will receive 50 million rupees, a silver would get 25 million rupees, and a bronze would get 15 million rupees. A gold medal at the team sport will be rewarded with 100 million rupees, a silver 50 million rupees, and a bronze 20 million rupees. A gold medalist at the Commonwealth and Asian Games will be rewarded with 15 million rupees, a silver will get 10 million, and a bronze with 5 million rupees. The team that wins a gold will be presented with 30 million rupees, a silver with 20 million, and bronze will get 10 million rupees. The athletes will be categorized into 4 tiers as Olympics, Commonwealth and Asian Games, where 56 elite athletes who are selected to the top tier. They will be signing the new contract with the ministry next week with the promise of better payments, nutrition and training with the aim of shining at the Olympics, Commonwealth Games 2022 and Asian Games 2022. That was the sports news. Business news coming up.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
In business news, District Manager of the Paddy Marketing Board, TMK Tennakon, says that all arrangements are ready to purchase paddy harvest from the Anuradhapura district. He told the SLBC that around 30,000 metric tons of paddy is being purchased. He said 60,000 metric tons of paddy could be stored at the district storages. That was the business news, and economic news follows.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic News, courtesy of
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And in economic news, the Banking and Finance Regulator is confident that the rupee will be firmer soon with measures taken to stabilize the currency, said a top official of the central bank last week. The rupee hovered between 185 to 200 against the greenback over the past month, 1 month, while depreciating around 6% last year. The current trend will be reversed and the rupee will regain value soon, Central Bank Governor Professor W.D. Lakshman said. Meanwhile, commercial banks have been prohibited from buying or selling foreign exchange for 3 months to stem the currency from losing value further. The central bank decided to stop banks from entering into forward contracts of foreign exchange to prevent excess volatility in the foreign exchange market and its impact on risk management of banks, he said. That was economic news, and the weather report to conclude.
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And finally, the weather report. Showers will occur at times in the northern, north central, eastern and Nuwa provinces and in the Matale and Nuwara districts, says the Department of Meteorology. Fairly heavy falls, about 35 millimeters, can be expected at some places in the eastern province and in the Polonnaruwa, Matale and Mullaitivu districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the western and Sabaragamu provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts after 2 p.m. Misty conditions can be expected in the western, central and Sabaragamu together with the southern province during the morning hours. And before we conclude this bulletin of news, let's get back to the headlines once again. The President calls on the politicians, officials and people to work together to resolve the problems in the rural areas. The Kubukanoya irrigation project will be started, realizing the dreams of the people for 7 decades. Sri Lanka Ports Authority has been declared as an essential service. 37,825 individuals have been vaccinated in the 2 days of the COVID vaccination program. COVID-19 infections total rises to 63,293. 56,277 patients have fully recovered. A special traffic plan has been devised in view of the 73rd National Independence Day. And in news overseas, India cuts internet to hunger-striking farmers in Delhi. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news. And now it's back to your Sunday morning host and my good friend Chandima to brighten up your day.